It's our town for WTBQ and WGHT Radio, and it's like one of our favorite our towns today because it's been a while, but we haven't had Paul Nebrasky in here doing it. By the way, Paul's picking up a wife today, aren't you?
Actually, no. You know what, Frank? I can't go there. I just cannot go there.
Come on.
Just let it be, okay?
I thought you were picking up a wife today.
Not a wife, his wife.
Well, it's a wife.
There is
just
nothing that
his.
I can answer there where when I do see my wife later today,
yes.
it's going to work well.
Yeah, but
so just let's do my art town.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
What time should the wake be?
That's it. Well,
look, somebody said hello to you, Paul. It's Peggy and John from yesterday's.
I had such a wonderful tour of yesterday's.
Oh, did you? Yeah, tell me about that real quick.
Yeah, no, just amazing. They were putting in the front, their
We're
front
talking
door
about
and
yesterday's
facade.
restaurant that they're building.
It's just amazing. It really, really is. So I can't wait till it opens.
Great work, right? You saw the construction there.
Oh, the construction's fantastic.
Yeah, they've really done an amazing job.
I told John that.
Without saying any names, I was talking to one of the ladies at Rotary yesterday in there, and she was talking about everything else. And Steve Newhouse, we were talking about. He loves Steve and everything else. And I said, yeah, Steve was at yesterday's, even touring that, and he's everywhere,
Right.
Oh, I live on the property adjacent to yesterday's.
Oh,
I said,
no.
Uh-oh.
And what'd she say?
She has more difficulty hearing the train now.
That's more difficult to hear the train.
She complained. Yeah, because there's a building in between the train tracks, so it buffers them.
The train is like...
So it's actually a compliment.
I'd want a retaining wall to keep it from the train noise. Right. But apparently she likes the train noise, so it's better than the noise on the main road.
To each his own, as they say.
I don't know what to say.
So I had to change the conversation rather quickly at that point in time. I said, okay.
Good. Yeah, that's
good.
That's when I told you, Taylor, to call Taylor right away.
Yeah.
Good thing is they could walk around the corner for a good burger or through the backyard, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do now?
Do your art town.
Yeah, I really, better than my art town. I would love to give away some money.
Oh. Here I am.
Right.
So let me go out in the car and I'll call from there.
All right. So first thing we're gonna do. Oh, do we have the number for people to text in too?
Yeah, 6.
Well, they can't win by texting.
No,
they can only call in.
People give us questions. I would like some.
You know where that is? Look at the top of that machine there. Look at that. 845-328. 0886.
Do you want me to make that number bigger? Because I think it's pretty big. If Taylor can read it from there, it's got to be pretty big.
To be abused. I already got
well, I
abused
want to make you happy today.
All right, listen, Chris is here. It's his abuse day.
No, I never abuse Chris.
I know. Listen, why am I the only one who gets abused?
A few minutes ago,
we love you so much.
A few minutes ago, he's going, is there any way to get out of this building? I go, yeah, the door's right there. What are you talking about?
There's no yes if there was a back door.
It's right in front of your face.
Okay, so
845-328-0886 is the texting number to any live show here during the day. And so if you want to send in comments or questions, please do. But if you want to, you have to call to answer the question that Paul's going to ask. And that number is 845-651-1110.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
You've never said perfect to me before.
All right. So since yesterday's isn't open yet, we're going to give away gift certificate. How about Silvio's?
Sounds great.
All right, $50 at Silvio's.
Oh,
Silvio's.
You're going to get a great meal there.
And then we're going to have a bonus.
Tonight,
I wish we were going to eat there tonight.
We are.
Paul's not.
What? Wait, why do you pick the days I can't go?
We didn't pick it, actually.
Oh, sure.
The gentleman who's coming to dinner with us did, because he's leaving tomorrow to go to Florida.
Well, I'm leaving today.
You're leaving on the wrong day.
Well, that's not my pick.
You picked the wrong day.
This was not my pick.
Tomorrow's Florida Day.
All right, this is getting out of hand. Can I do my art town now?
You may do that.
All right, thank you. So also, we're going to have 2 questions. And the second answer, which is going to be in the studio, $50 to your favorite charity, Taylor. What would you like to do today?
Warwick Valley Humane Society.
Really?
Well, it's my favorite charity.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Where else would she send it to?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, wait. Let's do it as something new for today. So Give Where You Live, which is happening Wednesday, May 17th. Actually, Paul Nebrasky and his wife have set up an amazing foundation called the Nebrasky Foundation. And it is where he gives out scholarships to young people who want to go in the trades. And so let's give it to the Nebrasky Foundation, and there's an anonymous donor that's going to match everything that's donated. So let's do that.
Yeah, up to $5,000.
And WTBQ is going to put in a donation.
We
as well.
most definitely will.
Yep.
All right.
I'll put in a happy dollar.
Happy dollar is good. All right. We won't make it a sad dollar. All right. So here we go. Today's question is, what popular 60s TV show featured a story about the world ending because it didn't have proper cooling.
So the world ender. You're talking 1960s.
60s TV
that wasn't
show.
in the 60s.
No, don't even mention. Don't
featured
even
a
throw anything
story
out there.
about
Okay.
the world ending that could have been helped if they had proper air conditioning.
Where do you find these wonderful?
Wow.
things? That is
Was
a
it
great
a was it a
question.
show we're going to know?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
In the
All right.
60s. Now, I'm watching a lot of the old shows on this station called Decades and Me. There's two stations that played these old shows.
That's a great question.
I don't
really.
know that
That's
one.
that's.
But it has to do with
That's tough one.
HVAC.
Well, it has to do with the lack of having HVAC.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the world
But in the
wouldn't know.
60s, not a lot of people had air conditioning, right?
right, yeah.
And here's our bonus question. How many Google searches does it take to power a 60-watt light bulb?
Oh, I'll never know. Oh, somebody.
Well, hold on, Taylor. All right. Well, Taylor's going to pick up the phone for some odd reason
Radio worth listening to.
and talk into the microphone at the same time. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, well, we'll let her do that. And we're going to see if we don't know if we have a winner because Taylor doesn't actually know the answer to
I
that
do
question.
not. Is it Star Trek?
No.
No.
Okay, no, it isn't.
Well, what do you look? She's answering, and let them.
I asked him.
Well, let them
Wait,
say.
but I
it.
don't want to give him a wrong thing. Let's
put him on the air if it's wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
Star
Put 'em on
Trek.
the air.
We usually don't
Somebody
do
got
that.
it right.
Yeah.
Two people
We
are
usually,
No, the world never ended.
we usually never, ever bring somebody on the phone who has the wrong answer.
Paul, was it a popular TV show and an episode within the TV show?
Yes, Chris,
there
it
you
is.
go.
And we're getting a lot
I
of
see
questions
it.
by text, but two people got it on text.
Oh,
Somebody
it's
from
that
Texas.
one, right? This
Yeah.
is this actually your,
No clues,
No
Taylor.
clues.
He
No,
doesn't
your
want to give a
favorite.
no. He doesn't want to give a clue.
All right, no more clues. Okay, wow, look
I
at
can
this.
hear you, Taylor. I can actually
you
hear you say
cannot
that.
hear me.
I actually
People
heard you
are
say
in.
that.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Watch
waiting
what
for
happens
Coming in.
now.
They're pouring in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
some of them are right, some of them are wrong. There's a
But so
bunch
the
coming
first
in.
guess was close, but that we'll
The
leave it
first
like that.
guess was close, but absolutely,
But not correct.
But not correct because
You got to call in. You
we
can't
don't
do it
need
on
air conditioning
texting.
in space.
Hey, do you want a $50 gift certificate to one of the best restaurants around?
Absolutely.
Call.
845-651-1110.
And if you live in Jersey, don't matter. It's a quick ride.
Yep.
Go there to Silvio's, then go catch the drive-in, have a movie.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
we didn't talk
idea.
about the drive-in. Today's the last day to get the
You
tickets
get the
for
tickets.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy
So
3.
the Warwick Valley
3D.
Rotary is offering you $7 per person to go to the Warwick Drive-In. You get first-run movie Guardians of the Galaxy plus popcorn. So
A small popcorn.
You have to go to
$7.
warwickvalleyrotary.org to buy your tickets tonight. Otherwise, the money does not go to Rotary on Friday. So that's what you got to do. Get
All right,
out
I'm
there.
gonna
Let's
ask
sell
the
it
question
out.
one more time.
One
and
more
we're gonna-
time.
We're going to talk about heat pumps today.
Oh,
Okay?
good.
All right.
Love
All right.
it.
So, what popular 60s TV show featured a story about the world ending that could have been helped by air conditioning?
See,
All right, so
I know the show, but I've never heard
I've
that in it.
I actually have the entire series on DVD, and this is one of the. It isn't the series isn't based on it, folks. It happens to be one of the episodes.
Right, and that's what Chris had
And
said.
when you remind me what episode, I'm sure I'll remember it. I just don't remember
and that's
offhand.
what
So we're going to
featured
find
the
out.
story.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a little bit about
Heat pump.
what Governor Hochul has recently signed.
Okay.
So Governor Hochul recently signed on May 2nd that banning gas-powered furnaces
Unbelievable. Guess everything.
and gas stoves.
Starting when?
I think it's 2026.
Wait a
for
minute. Does her
residential.
husband have money in the electric company? Because
So
she did that with the Buffalo
So wait a minute.
Bills.
So what are they banning now?
Gas-powered heat?
Just gas.
And gas-powered stoves.
And,
Yeah.
and other gas things.
Anything
but
that runs on gas.
mostly what runs on gas.
Now, what about?
So what does that mean?
Wait a-
No gas
Taylor,
pumps?
take it easy here. Relax.
no gas pumps either?
No.
You can't fill your car up?
No.
That's gas.
That's not gas.
That
That's
is
fuel.
gas.
That's
It's called gas.
What they're looking to do here is right or wrong, believe it or not, believe it. It's something that we have to live with, right? So I'm not here
Right.
really to talk about whether I agree with it or
or
don't
not.
agree with it.
You just know it's going to happen.
I just know it's going to happen.
What about propane?
Banned.
Oh, so that's going too.
What's happening to barbecues?
Well, they didn't talk about barbecues.
But that's propane.
And,
Right,
you know,
well,
and
just
I
relax,
know
Taylor.
John and Peggy listened from
it out,
yesterday's.
Frank.
Commercial has not been banned. So if you have a restaurant,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because we talked to the lady with the pots and pans yesterday, right? And our Tuesday, and we
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
with the
heating with
lodge-
electric or gas, right?
The lodge pots.
Yeah, with the large pots. So I thought that was really interesting. So it's important to know that by 2026, if you're going to have anything new, it's going to have to be electric heat, Frank. Basically, what you had in your house that from the 70s.
And we're going to
Most people have oil. Why don't they ban
We're going to
oil?
talk about that because we might just have a winner on the telephone right now.
What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Kathy from Warwick.
All right, Kathy, tell Paul Nebrasky what the answer is.
Is it Lost in Space?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, it's not. But that was a question that was asked.
Wait a minute. I thought read Taylor's lips before. You said
No,
Lost.
you never read my lips.
I thought it was Lost in
Read
Space.
that.
It is,
You said it's my favorite
it is
TV
not.
show.
It is not, Kathy. No.
Why? Oh, sorry, Kathy. I thought it was.
No,
But that-
it is
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, I should get like a booby prize for being so
Well,
close.
talk to
Well,
your
that's
husband.
exactly what you
Ask
got.
your husband; he'll give you one.
Hey, Kathy, do you have a favorite charity in Warwick?
I do the pet one. The
Warwick
Animals.
Valley Humane
All
Society.
right, so the same
Yeah,
the same one with
Society.
Taylor. So
Yeah,
what,
that's
what,
mine.
what your booby prize will be is we'll make it $100 to the
Oh,
50 in honor of
thank
you,
you.
But
and
I think
$50 for
actually- I
Taylor.
think the
Okay,
Nebrasky
so
one-
all right.
I
so-
think the Nebrasky one was really good, though.
okay, well that's good. Hey, thank you, Kathy.
Yeah,
Appreciate
he
that.
donates to that all the time.
All right. Well, thanks for trying and
Thank you.
try
Thank
again.
you, Kathy.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
now.
All right. So it isn't
right.
Lost in Space.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's not
that was
That's
one
what
of
I-
the guesses we did get via text, but
Don't
most of the
Taylor
ones.
did mouth that though. She said Lost in Space.
Okay,
Somebody wrote back and
No, don't say it.
okay,
All right, but I will give one other clue.
okay.
It is, you know how there's every day has a day, like there's Plumber's Day and Radio Day.
Yes.
This show today's their day. May 11th
Oh.
is
The
that.
debut day when it came
No,
on.
May 11th is like it would be today is
Hot Friday.
Hot Friday, or today is Taco Day, or today is
This
Yeah.
television
Plumber's
show has
Day.
their own
Yes,
day.
yeah, everything has their own day now. Today,
That is a big hit.
Really?
so like okay, best thing is like May 4th is known as
May the
May the
4th,
4th be with you. Yeah.
Known as
Well,
Star
today
Wars
is
Day.
May the 11th.
Right. May the 11th is known as this show's day.
Right.
Okay. So I tied it in with that.
So
all right.
yeah,
Wow.
I got it. So it's Cinco plus uno de Mayo.
All right. So I have to be honest.
No, you
I
don't.
have very smart people who work for me who came up with this question.
We know that.
Okay, good. But
And I
everybody
know
else
who they
doesn't.
are.
Oh, you have, yeah, absolutely. All right. So
All right. That's a really good question, though. That was really terrific.
all right.
How did they? I want to hire them. They come up with quality
Yeah.
questions.
So
All right.
Taylor,
I think Frank has a winner on the phone. If he would stop talking to them and put them on the air,
All
it
right,
would be
great.
really good. But Frank doesn't know how to say, hold on a minute.
really?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's a
Really?
good Catholic boy from
That
Don Bosco.
really is a great question.
Yeah, it really is. Do we have someone?
Now, it's our buddy Paul, and he probably does have the answer.
Okay.
I was thinking of it too, but he's
All
not.
right, go ahead.
No, he's not. He doesn't want to win because
Why?
he's involved with the station. He
No,
didn't want
he's
to win.
he's not on
I
this
begged
air.
him to do it. I said, please.
Paul, you're not on the air. You
He's
can
not.
call back.
He thinks he has the. I don't know if he's got the right answer.
I don't
but
either, but Paul,
Well,
call back.
all right.
Really, seriously.
All right.
Go
Take
eat
your
it.
wife out for a nice dinner.
Yeah, please. Julie told me.
So let's talk
All right,
about let's talk about heat.
So we know that gas is going away. Gas that you use in your home. That means you can't buy new things, right?
Well, as of 2026, if you build new, you cannot put in a gas stove
There's
or
a question
boiler.
for you.
Is the ban on natural gas stoves? Yes, in 2026 it will be. They're not allowing stoves.
Okay.
All right. But at this point, heat pumps work and they work well, and they're going to save you money. So, Frank, you know a lot about this. How's a heat pump work, Frank? And we've talked about
A heat
this.
pump works in reverse of what an central air conditioning system does through your air conditioning ducts. If
So
you
Is
have
there,
all that.
is there a winner on the phone?
No.
Oh.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because two
Have you
people,
seen things?
the phones were ringing and you answered them. And
I didn't answer anything. Taylor.
So,
Don't worry about it.
correct, Frank. A heat pump uses technology similar like how a refrigerator works.
Right.
Or an air conditioner where it extracts the heat from the air, right? Or the surrounding, or air conditioning extracts the heat inside the refrigerator, and it uses it to heat up your house. So a heat pump works very interestingly, and they're electric.
First of all, don't they save a lot of money on bills too?
So the average customer that we take an oil boiler out, like you have at your house,
Right.
and we put a heat pump in, there's about a 60% savings in energy.
It is an amazing difference in savings. And of course, it's the most economical way to generate heat these days, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wrote in, if I call and I win, can I win a fan from my heat pump instead?
That's funny. So we're talking about heat pump, and we just got an interesting question right here. Does your electrical panel need to be upgraded for a heat pump? We're going to save that question.
Oh,
for
that's
minute.
a good question.
No, that's a great question. That is really, really good question. And then there's another. So there's an air source heat pump that takes the heat out of the air and puts it into your house. And then there's a ground source heat pump, which uses the ground to
like thermogenic.
Yeah, it's thermal. So underneath the ground, it never freezes. So there's always heat.
Right.
So
which is the most economical, right? Whatever.
Which is the most
Thermonuclear
economical, but
reactor.
it's also more expensive to put in than an air source heat pump.
I do have a maybe winner on the phone.
We have a maybe winner.
I don't know what the answer
Frank
is.
doesn't know what it
I don't
is.
know what
All
it
right,
is.
what's your
but
first
I think
name?
she's right.
What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Nancy from Blooming Grove.
Okay, Nancy from Blooming Grove. What's the answer to the question about the world ending because of not having cooling?
The Twilight Zone?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. And
Great job.
and
that would make sense. What episode was that?
Midnight Sun,
Oh, that's an interesting name.
And why
for
did
too.
Why did the world end?
because
There wasn't enough cooling.
The sun was too hot.
You burned to death.
And if you remember watching the episode, everything was melting, and eventually they burned to death.
That was such a great show.
And today is Twilight Zone Day.
Well, New Year's Eve they play.
Why is
like
it Twilight Zone Day
today?
today?
I don't know.
Because there's a day for everything, Frank.
I've
If
just
you look
entered
it
the
up,
Twilight
there's a
Zone.
Tomorrow's
day for
Frank
everything.
Truett Day.
Is it? Well, I'll be here for that. That's pretty cool.
Every day is
Better
Frank
be.
Truett Day.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Unless Taylor's around.
Nancy, what's your favorite radio stations?
WGHT and WTBQ.
All
You
right.
got it.
Nancy, have you
All
been
right.
to
Well, you
Silvio's?
hold
It's
on.
great.
You hold on for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how to get the gift certificate. Okay?
And,
Great, thank you so much.
All
and
right,
tell,
hold on.
you want to
what?
find out if she's ever been to Silvio's before?
Have you ever been to Silvio's?
Many years ago.
Okay, you're going to love
it's
it.
really, really good.
We're
Yeah,
going to be
very
there
good.
tonight, actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I'm
people
looking
talk
forward to
about their
that.
food. They have an
Come and
amazing
join us. We'll let
martini
you
bar.
sit at our table.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because you want to use my $50 gift certificate for you.
We're going
for
Dutch.
you, Taylor. There you go. Nancy, do not join them. The money
you
is
don't
for
do that.
you,
No,
not
no,
for Taylor.
no.
Okay, please.
No, go with the.
I'll just have a
somebody
salad.
else and have a
Any
good
angle,
time.
Taylor. Any angle.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so hold on.
Hold on, I'm going to tell you how to get the gift certificate.
I guess I'm going to tell her how to do that.
No, I'm going to tell her how to do it.
All right, Taylor's going to tell you.
Yeah.
Listen to Taylor. All right, so hold on. We'll come right to you.
Yeah, why don't you try that sometime?
Hey, you know, it's worth. We're so confused
Congratulations,
today.
Nancy.
All right,
All right,
so go tell her.
well, you have to put her on hold.
All right, she's on hold now.
All right, thank you so much. Continue talking.
Why?
Because why,
You're actually telling me to talk this time?
wait a minute. What's the date and
I
time?
said there's
Twilight Zone Day.
Twilight. I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. Taylor told me continue
That was
talking. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Do not change the dial on your television.
I am definitely into it. May 11th. We know the exact date.
I love that, by the way. Watch out there. Do not touch
You've just
the
entered
dial.
The Nebrasky zone.
What?
Wires your heat pump.
You've got gas in your house.
You got gas,
It's going to be gone.
and it smells.
Well, there you go, Twilight Zone. Go ahead, take care of that, Taylor, and we'll Paul and I will talk about the heat pump situation. Well, all right. So I do have a heat pump, and it's a great. If you have central air, it's just it's a different thing, right? You just can add it into your.
You can add it in, and the other type of heat pump which we talk about is a geothermal heat pump, right? So it takes the air or the cooling from the ground because the ground's always at a certain heat.
But isn't that like cost prohibitive for the average homeowner?
If you're not building a new house, it is very expensive. It's a lot more money. If on a new installation, you already have machines there, you're already digging. It's not that bad, and there's federal tax rebates for geothermal.
So if heat pumps now are so efficient and so good when you're building new construction, is that primarily what you're putting in, or are people still putting furnaces in?
It depends. We are doing about 70% heat pumps now.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
that is a lot.
Yeah, I was when I went to look at yesterday's, and I was talking to John about what kind of heating and cooling. I gave John and Peggy a couple different choices. to look at. And one of the choices I gave them was a heat pump.
For that large a building, what kind of a heat pump can you put in?
Well,
there?
you put multiple heat pumps in, but you
Okay.
still need multiple air conditioning and heating systems.
So with the air conditioning to a space that large, because it does have tall ceilings also, do you have to put more than one unit with a building like that, or is there big enough, like 10-ton thing?
Oh, no, you put more than one unit, and I don't know what John is going to eventually decide to do, and Peggy, but what's nice about having more than one unit, efficiency-wise,
Zone 2.
if he only has 20 people in the restaurant, he can leave one unit on or put 2 units on. They're all run by remote. So there, also you get a government rebate right now because New York State is pushing you to go to heat pumps right now. So that's what I want to talk about.
Well,
So-
let me tell you a little bit about the benefits too, though, Paul. When you think about it, when you have a house, no matter what size your house is, you have a furnace. That furnace takes up a good portion. Taylor.
What, Frank?
I'm talking to Paul.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know,
know
but
what
I'm
ta-
looking.
You
at
don't
it.
know what I just said.
I think Emily just sent in a text.
All right, that's good.
Twilight Zone from your Texas fan.
No, that's actually my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How
Well,
do
so-
you know the difference?
Because it says Beth Nebrasky above
Oh,
it. Beth is my sister. Emily's my
I
daughter.
know Emily.
All right, I might, my wife's, I don't know the difference, but
All right.
okay.
So in any case, Paul, when you look at a home, when you put in a heat pump, that means you have no furnace in your house, which a lot of people, furnace take up a lot of room. They're messy. They're in your basement. They require a lot of maintenance. Isn't a heat pump a lot better?
Yeah, maintenance-wise, yes, but remember, you also need an air handler to be able to move that air. So if you put
Well,
in,
that's usually in the attic, though, right?
well, it depends. It depends because you don't want to put in the attic if the attic isn't insulated properly. But one of the negatives, somebody sent in this question: does your electric panel need to be upgraded with a heat pump? Which is a great question.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of customers putting in heat pumps. We're probably doing 2 to 3 change outs a week from regular
Wow.
heating to heat pumps.
And is there a savings on that as well?
Well, we talked about that. From oil to a heat pump is about 60% savings.
That's
from
huge.
natural gas. It's about a 40%.
We need to do that.
Now the issue is though, if you have a 100 amp panel, you need 220 because you have the heat pump and there's also the electric heat backup.
But don't you need a 220 if you're putting in a built-in generator also?
No, the generator doesn't make a difference. But
So you don't have to change your panel.
well, no, not for a generator. But if you're taking
Taylor's all over the place here. I can't
No,
keep
because
up on
I'm
it.
thinking if you're
No,
doing
no.
both, it would be beneficial too.
Paul, the question is this: is it use as much power as a central air conditioning unit?
Yes.
So for central air, you need at least, you don't need maybe another panel unless you have enough coming in. You need another circuit breaker in the circuit room.
Yes,
on your
but
panel.
even with the air conditioning system, we have a lot of customers have older houses that were built in the 60s, and they only have 100 amp services, and there's not enough electric at the panel. And Orange and Rock will bring it in to do this. So a lot of our customers, in order to put air conditioning in or a heat pump, do have to upgrade their electrical panel.
Okay.
So that question is a very good question. Sometimes it becomes cost prohibitive for our customers to take an older house and put air conditioning or heat pump in because they don't have the electric.
Now, if they've already have central air, do you need to upgrade or no?
No.
You're good.
No, you're good.
You're good.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
So, but what
But the heat pump you can use for heat, actually.
Well, yeah, but it works off the same unit
No,
outside.
but I'm saying that if you are, let's say you're spending $2,500 or more on oil, wouldn't it be cheaper for the season to have a heat pump just for the heat?
Well, Taylor, that's a great question. I actually said that.
Wow. Put
Okay.
that
Yeah.
down.
So
8:37 a.m.
What the New York State is saying right now, if you take out your old furnace completely and put in a heat pump system where your primary heat source is the heat pump that you're putting in. It could be the mini splits that's in the wall, which I talked about, John, and yesterday's could work, the small systems that you see on the wall.
Right.
Or it could be an air handler, Frank. New York State will give you a rebate.
Oh,
And the rebates tend to be quite large. Our average customer is getting between $8,000 and $10,000 back
wow.
as a rebate.
That's huge.
As a rebate. Now that rebate could be done 2 ways. It could be a instant rebate where Orange Rockland pays me so I can take it right off your bill, or you can elect to get the money from Orange Rockland. Obviously, most people want to take it off the bill.
100%.
So it's interesting. So before I left the office yesterday to go to Rotary, we just sent, I'm not going to tell you this customer, we just sent a customer to a very large house proposal because they want to go to heat pump. Now, it used to be that you would get that rebate if you just put a heat pump in. Now, New York State's saying you got to decommission your old system.
So that it never works again.
It never works again. So
Because they don't want you to go back to it.
Sure.
That's why.
so it never works again. So here's a customer who has a very larger house in Warwick. They have 1, 2, 3. We're going to need to have to put in 4 heat pumps.
Wow.
4,
How big
which
is that
okay.
house?
Sometimes it's not even how big the house is. It's where we can get the air. Where we're going to get the air to move. So we got to strategically.
So they don't
place them.
have central air conditioning.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I did not do this estimate.
Okay.
Rob did. Okay. But this is what's important. The complete new heat pump system, which is going to save them 60%, came to $38,000, which
Oh my God!
which we're going to say, oh my God, right? For state of the art, but remember you're saving 60%
And they
on your
have
energy.
4 heat pumps.
Okay. But they're getting a $16,000 rebate from Orange and Rockland, bringing the cost down to $22,000.
Wow.
Okay. The more BTUs of heating you need or cooling, the bigger the rebate is through Orange and Rockland and Central Hudson.
Now, does it tell you what kind of heating they had before?
It doesn't matter. My proposal does not. And,
Does not, yeah.
If Rob, if you're listening, text in or somebody from the office.
Does that include
845-328-0886.
Does that include removing the old system?
Yes, everything I do here is removing.
And when you say remove, you literally take the furnace away?
Yes, it has to be taken away now. It used to be that we would just cap the gas and then we
Sure.
would take a picture of it. Now they kind of want us to take it away.
What do you have to remove also the heating units in every room? Like if you have a hot water,
No.
So those stay,
Those-
the homeowner wants to get rid of that to give themselves more room.
But we have to.
a good question.
That's a great question. I'll answer in a minute. Let me ask Frank. Yeah, if the homeowner wants to take them out themselves, they can. If it's a boiler, but we have to take out the boiler. Okay, where before we did not.
Okay.
So, but it's most of what we're doing now. We are doing heat pumps.
Yeah.
And it really makes a lot of sense.
And the
in savings.
technology has changed. I know somebody wrote in that they had a problem with them. But, technology has changed. Heat pumps have changed. What is the average lifespan on a heat pump?
We've been putting them in 15 years now, and I've had no problems with.
Well, there it is.
But I see 2 great questions here. The questions are coming fast. Let's do the last one, which is a great question. Has the technology changed with heat pumps? They used to be only suitable for certain outdoor temperatures, and that is a big misconception when we talk to people. Heat pumps were always in Florida because they only really worked down to like 30 degrees outside.
Say 30.
Because the lower the temperature goes outside, the less heater in the air for them to pull out. Today's newer technology will work down to 5 degrees,
Wow.
-5 degrees, -5
Really?
degrees.
That's incredible.
Making them usable in the Northeast. Okay. And what we do is for backup for the 1 or 2, I know I saw the question coming. Frank.
It was coming. Yeah. I know you put additional electric heat in there.
Right.
If what happens is in that system where they blow the air through, you have an electric heater in there that if it can't handle the thing, you'll be paying a little bit more, but you're going to run off of electric, and that will heat your house.
And you're still getting rid of fossil fuel.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
So you're still getting rid of fossil fuel. So that question about the technology changing, the technology is amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know somebody's had problems with it, but don't think your problems have anything to do with today's technology, because Paul just said that he's been 15 years since he's putting them in, and he's had no problems with any of the ones that he put in. So I don't know what you're buying, who you're dealing with, whoever's texting this, but maybe you should talk to
So, Paul,
Nebrasky.
if somebody has a central air conditioning unit and they just want to make this switch over, all you're really doing is changing the unit outside, which a very similar looking unit appear maybe a little taller, and you have to raise it off the ground a little bit so that snow doesn't block it in the wintertime, because it works all year now. And you will you'll do the heating up in the attic, maybe the heat exchanger.
Well, you don't really. You
can leave the old one there, but
everything's there.
Except you might want to put
the
the supplemental heat in there.
So that's a little bit different animal, Frank. So let's talk about if you have air conditioning. And almost all our customers are going for this. First of all, if you have air conditioning, to change it to an air conditioning that also works as a heat pump is only a little bit more money. Now you can use your heat pump on those shoulder days like May, like we're in now in April, where you don't want to turn your whole oil boiler on, but you can use your heat pump to warm up your house.
Right.
But you do not qualify for the rebate.
Correct. Oh, because you have to remove the other heating.
Right. You have to remove the other heating. But it's only approximately $1,000 more to put an air conditioning with a heat pump. It makes sense to do it.
So in my case, what happened to me was my compressor outside went bad. It broke. So when I talked to the company years ago, they said you can have that as a heat pump for an additional $1,000. And it was like $8,000 to replace everything in the house back. So it cost me $9,000. And I figured, well, what a great savings that's going to be. And of course, I don't have the efficiency of the units you have today working to a cold temperature.
Let me ask Paul a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
Go ahead, Taylor.
If a train leaves Chicago.
I never got those in school.
Go ahead.
If you have a house that has central air, and say it's about 2,500 to 2,800 square feet, and you want to take the oil out and put a heat pump in, do you need more than one heat pump for that square footage?
Well, that's what we were talking about before. It depends on what kind of heat pump you're putting in. So if you already have central air, we can reuse the ducts. So you can only, and that's what Frank was saying. It can be pretty much the same size, this more efficient system with some heat strips as what you had there. The only thing we have to do is, generally when it was built as an air conditioning system, your return to bring the air back is going to be low because the cold air drops. So you got to change the ductwork a little bit so you pull that hot air back up. Okay, so you need a low and high return, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you're going to use it for heat and heat only now, we have to put in a new return, which generally is not hard to do.
And return goes in the same spot, or
generally we try to put it in a central location.
Yeah.
All right.
And how expensive is that to do?
It's again, you ask me money all the time. And
because most people want to know.
Well, you have to buy a whole new unit.
Every house is different. It's
right.
As I said
so
to
you don't
Frank,
go, I see. So it's not just by square footage.
Right. And as I said to Frank before, if you already have air conditioning and you need a new system, it's not that much more money to add the heat pump for that.
Right. But if you want to convert to a heat pump with an existing working system, you still have to get rid of the compressor and buy the whole unit.
Right. But even if you do not want the rebate, you want to leave your old oil boiler there, it generally pays to use the heat pump because you don't have to run that whole oil boiler when it's 40 or 50 degrees out. You can just turn your heat pump on and really temper your house. I live that way. I have radiant heat in my house, but I also have an air conditioning system with heat pump. I don't turn my radiant heat on until it gets very cold.
Listen, I took pictures of that basement with all that is like. I need to send that to Richard Tutuli and say, good luck, but what's your house look like?
It's like the power room in the Titanic, right? It's like you look in there, it's like they got everything going there.
It's like your record collection.
It is, yes.
Exactly.
It is.
It's like your record
Although
collection.
It costs more than that. But
I'm not so sure, Frank. I've heard about your record collection.
So in any case, so here's the other question. When we talk about removing gas, does that mean also your hot water heater and the instant-on hot water heaters?
You know, that's interesting. I didn't read in the bill about hot water. I'm sure it's there if anybody wants to text in and know what they said about hot water. Now, I don't think we need to remove. I think if you already have a gas furnace, you're grandfathered in.
Right.
What they're saying is from 2026, if you build a house at that point, you can no longer have a gas furnace or a gas stove. And I understand. I shouldn't say. I understand the furnace part because the electric heat works now and the heat pumps work. I don't understand the gas stove. I mean, it is just a better way to cook. We talked about...
and it doesn't use that much gas, by the way.
You're
not cooking
it's still
12 hours
the air,
a day.
Right, but you're correct, Taylor. And are they going to get rid of barbecues? Are they?
That's what I said before.
Or fire pits? I'm just not. I'm not.
Right, you're putting in fire pits in these new homes.
Well, folks, here's the answer. Next time there's an election, put in somebody who has common sense and doesn't have any skin in the game. There you go.
No, but it's good for the environment. It's green, and that's what everybody's looking at.
We want all that.
No,
so this is New York is New York is one of the few states I guess New Jersey's doing that too, right?
You know what? We'll have to ask our.
Yeah, I believe They're, not as strict as what New York is doing right now.
Kevin Rooney calls
when Kevin Rooney asked Kevin, and of course California is doing it.
Oh, they're always there.
They're the first.
Crazy completely.
So Chris, you got any questions about what do you got? We got oil or what?
I have oil.
So what do you think about all this?
Hey, it's interesting. I mean, as we move forward, I just had to do a little bit of a replacement on my furnace, and I wish I was more educated listening to Paul here. I mean, it's just they're going to be the wave of the future, and with the new laws, and that's why I love coming here every Thursday. You're learning something new.
No, and you're 100% right, Chris. And I'm sorry that you weren't educated because
I wasn't.
And that's what happens.
His guys are unbelievable.
I know.
That's what happens if people don't stay relevant, right? And stay on top of it and understand, because us as contractors out there should letting people know about this program.
Yeah, you need to educate people, because an educated consumer is a great consumer.
Was that a commercial?
That was what was that about?
I don't know. I just thought I made it up.
Was it? There was a. What was it about? Yeah, I forget that.
Yeah. No, I think it was like a Smith Barney or something like.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah,
for investments.
Yes, for investments. Yeah,
You missed me on that one.
Yeah, if somebody knows, text that
one. But
so Paul, with the new builds that are going on in Warwick and beyond, so 70% of those are being equipped with the
most of the ones that I see, 70's tough, maybe a little less. It depends on how much money they have to spend, or what they want to spend,
and what the rebate is,
and what the rebate is.
Gotcha.
But most of my houses are going with heat pumps, and most of the change outs that we're doing now are getting some sort of heat pumps.
Here's the other reason why we're now focusing on the future of taking off our ability to want to stay with the Middle East. We're looking to kind of mute that, because you look at Russia right now.
Right, but this type of gas doesn't come from the Middle East. Sorry. Oil comes from the Middle East.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're talking about gas.
We're trying to get off that thumb in the mouth.
Right, but we're not talking about electric cars.
No, but I'm saying that's why the heat pump is going to be so viable.
Why?
Because more and more people are getting out of getting oil at home.
Well, and
okay, there you go.
But gas comes from this country, natural gas.
Yeah, but oil comes from
everywhere.
And to answer Chris's question, it used to be people did not like the mini split systems that you see, up top.
Yep.
People love them now.
I don't like them, Paul.
I know, but here's what happens on a new construction. When you're trying to put ductwork through this whole building, it's big, it's bulky. We need places to get the ductwork in. You can put a whole heat pump system in without ductwork, and you can also put these in rooms where you can use a remote, and you just have better control.
Can they be put on the smart technology?
Oh,
of course. But here's what I don't like about it.
What don't you like about it, Frank? This is interesting.
Number one, Taylor had one of those. It tends to be less controllable for where it blows on you if you're in the room. I didn't like that.
That was for a window
Number
air
two,
conditioner.
The noise.
No. So hold on here. No,
there's no noise.
I think you're talking about a window air conditioner, because
exactly.
No. Taylor had a split in
in the other house.
And the noise of the fan running, the thing coming on, the little flapper coming down.
I never heard it.
So today's
are they quieter?
You don't even hear them. They're
really
quieter. They're unbelievable.
Because I don't want to hear that rush of the air conditioning.
By the way, the people texting in where that thing came from. So it was Marcy and Saul Sims, and they had a clothing company.
Oh yes.
Sims.
Yes.
Yeah, Sims.
Yeah.
Where educated customers are the best customers.
Yeah. Educated consumer is the best.
So our educated listener is the best.
That's
listener.
Right.
Okay. That's our new tagline there, Frank. Okay.
I think you should use it.
I think
welcome.
we should use it. We're good. As soon as I get my hat. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Taylor, how's those hats coming along?
We got to call Tom Fagion.
Yeah, we got to call. That's Taylor's answer to everything. Yeah, we have to get in touch with
The only way these hats are getting delivered here is I have to order them.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're not going Dutch on this one, but I will order them, Tom. I promise you.
Yeah, no, we're going to get Taylor to do it. We've got to force Taylor to get in there. So all right. So we learned a lot about heat pumps. Something definitely to look into, and the concern, of course, you want to save money, you want to save energy, you want to get off, the gas, and we're going to have to do it in new construction anyway. But it's something to think about especially if you're replacing your heating system these days.
That's what we were really talking about with Chris, right? Before you put extra money in there, offer something to that homeowner. Hey, do you want to replace? because of the rebates that are amazing right now.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one other thing about these rebates that Orange and Rockland and Central Hudson and Con Ed are giving back. It's our money.
Yeah.
If
it's not tax dollars.
It's not tax dollars.
It's money you've paid into the electric company.
It's money. If you look at it, there is a line in there that goes to that. Just like when you look at your cell phone bill and you have all those extra things, taxes that you pay. So they're taking money from you every month to give back to the consumer. So it's your money. Use it.
Great idea.
I know we got to run, but this is a great question. We talked about this for a minute, but I think this person maybe was not on. What about below zero temperatures? And we talked about today's heat pumps work to -5 degrees.
Right. And what about -6? It is supplemented always with an electric strips up in your heating
unit
ducts up
How
there.
do you know that?
Because I have that. So what happens is if it gets super cold and it doesn't work or you want heat quicker, it will turn on the electric
You wanna
strips.
hire him?
It'll cost you a little bit more for the time that's running, but your house will stay as
I
toasty
know
warm as
how
you want.
Frank watches because he watched about housing in Africa today, so he knows the answer.
Yeah.
You have
Well, I missed
you're
it by
sitting
2 minutes,
really
but
close to me, Paul.
All right,
I still got 2 more minutes to watch on that,
Yeah,
Paul.
why
so.
does that happen, Frank?
Because Taylor
Every
walked
other
in the room.
co-host
You
sits
have
away
6
from
minutes.
Taylor, and I sit next to Taylor every Tuesday.
Because you're a glutton for punishment, Paul.
What
That's
is
why.
going on here?
They're a glutton for
I
punishment.
walked in thinking Chris was going to be in my seat, and he's sitting over there. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, you're back again.
I'm back again.
You
Is a
can't win.
glutton. But anyway, if people want to reach you or find out more information.
Because your company will supply free information if people want an
Absolutely.
upgrade. You know, you get an estimate. It's a free estimate.
And listen, even if it's somebody who's not in our listening, my work area, call me. We're always willing to help.
And how far do you go? What is that area?
We are all of Orange County, Dutchess County. We do northern Jersey, Bergen, Rockland, Westchester. Sussex, yes, we're going to Sussex. The important part is we want to go where we can service you if you have a problem at 2 in the morning.
Right, that's really important.
So if it's too far of a ride, I will go there for you, but I will tell you, please get a local company to service it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. But all right, so how do they reach your company?
NebraskyPlumbing.com. Before we finish the Our Town, does anybody know how many Google searches it takes to power a 60-watt light bulb?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
this
we don't
on
know that one.
the Twilight Zone or no?
No, this was the crack team of Nebrasky who gave me this question.
So how many Google searches
does it take to power a 60-watt light bulb?
1,000.
You mean when you wait a minute? So when you do a Google search, it uses power?
Well, of course, right? You're on
You're
your
on the
computer. You're
internet.
using your
You're
electric,
plugged-
right?
Well, not mine.
How
I don't have to
about
plug it in.
10,000?
This is interesting. I don't know if this is right, but I would bet on my staff. They said 10 Google searches will power a 60-watt light bulb.
Really?
I did not know.
Yeah, so
That's hardly anything.
We better Google that and check it, right?
Not all at the same
times.
time.
It also tells us that Google processes 3.5 billion searches a day.
So do they have 200 amp
Wow.
service over there in their office?
Yeah. Can you imagine that? 3.5 billion. Yes.
Read that.
Here in Sussex County, my natural gas rate dropped from 70.70 therm to 0.26 therm.
Wow.
I don't know the reason. I don't know the reason for that.
They must have had a sale.
Yeah, no,
They had a
because
blowout sale.
generally,
Because they know gas is going away. That's
well, no,
why.
generally it worked the other way with the change in presidents. We stopped all the drilling and the natural gas and all that. So, generally the fuel went the other way. So I don't know why yours went down, but that's wonderful.
We have a pipe that runs across this field that's natural gas. I wonder what's going to happen to that.
Well, they're going to use it less and less.
They're going to use it. They're going to use it less and less.
It'll just
it's
be
really new. You can
Because
replace.
I think that's what heats the greenhouses.
Well,
yeah,
sure,
but
yeah.
they're commercial's still there, and I'm sure everybody's going to be grandfathered in. It's just going to be, like
For
the
home-
old car.
home
They're-
consumption.
Well,
you
the
know,
idea is they're
concession.
just trying to narrow down and
Consumption.
eliminate a lot of the consumption from consumers, and it'll make a difference.
no
a little
difference
bit at a time.
between a leaded and unleaded gas. If you had a leaded car, you still can have it, But
Yeah, they said it did something to the motor. It really didn't do too much damage, but you used to have to add additives into the fuel. Remember that?
I thought it was more for the lead in the environment. So it was really the car.
They changed it, but I think it built up deposits on something in the motor.
Okay,
because your motor was made to run on leaded fuel, something like that. I'll have to get a mechanic on one day to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be great.
The old cars.
The old cars.
All right, Paul, that's very informative today. Let me tell you, we ran, I know, a bit over, but
A bit
we
over?
learned a lot.
Like a half over.
Well, blame that on me. And
No, that's Frank's.
I have to leave. I have to go find a wife And as you guys say,
The wife. You gotta find the wife.
The wife, yes.
Yeah,
So, Chris, it was an honor to be here with you.
Same here, my
and
friend.
Thank you for the great organization that you run.
Thank you.
And guys, thanks for having me today.
And
Well,
as
we
always,
loved
and once
it.
again, thanks for
Always
last night, Paul. A wonderful event that you put together there, and
with Leo and
everybody.
Neil
And you'll hear a lot
everybody.
about that over the next couple of weeks. So it'll be, and you'll be back with us.
Not sure yet.
Okay.
Not sure yet.
Well,
Depends
safe
when I
travels.
find a wife.
Yeah, you got to
Okay.
find a wife. Make
Yeah.
sure find a familiar wife.
All right. And remember what?
Oh, I recognize you.
And remember on Twilight Day, May 11th, Taylor told me I can talk more.
Okay, that was good.
You
Great
got another
stuff.
year to go.
All right, Paul. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you.